Hello and welcome to Daily Records. I am Tommy Burton, and today we are going to be talking about Diamond Dogs by David Bowie. This album came out on May 24th, 1974. This was the 8th album by David Bowie, released on RCA Records. Now, this album sort of was interesting because this was a bit of a concept album. And there's the note, the gatefold by Bowie, because it was sort of a combination of George Orwell's futuristic novel 1984 and David Bowie's sort of glam at the time. This was around the time Bowie was involved in glam rock and had this sort of vision of a post-apocalyptic future. Now, he wanted to do a theatrical production of Orwell's book, and he had done his covers album, Pin-Ups, and so this was going to be the next project, was this theatrical production, but Orwell's estate denied him the rights, and so they kind of wound up the songs he had written, kind of ended up making up the second half of Diamond Dogs. And so if you listen to the album, the 1984 theme is pretty prevalent here. Songs like We Are the Dead, 1984, Big Brother, Chant of the Ever-Circling Skeletal Family, kind of follows that theme. Listed as in the all-time top 1,000 albums, NME, the New Musical Express, voted in the top 500 greatest albums of all time. This was sort of the real follow-up to Ziggy Stardust from mid-1973, and so this is still kind of a combination of the Ziggy character. Now, definitely if you know Ziggy Stardust, an album that a lot of people do know, you can hear some of that in the single here, Rebel Rebel, which was kind of the hit here. And some of the songs on Aladdin Sane were connected to that as well. You can hear like the song Diamond Dogs, kind of like a Rolling Stones song, kind of a chugging type song. And then there's the song suite that's on here that features Sweet Thing, Candidate, and then the reprise. Rock and Roll With Me, kind of more of a wah-wah guitar. And then when you get into the second half of the second side, 1984, you kind of get you've seen a glimpse into the future of what David Bowie was going to be doing, the Plastic Soul stuff that he was doing. And so Sweet Thing, going back to that song, was a little bit of Bowie trying a little bit of the writing style like William S. Burroughs, kind of the cut-up style. And so also predominantly, even though it's kind of a good continuation of the Ziggy Stardust, this album did not feature any of the Spiders from Mars. So Mick Ronson was gone by this point. Herbie Flowers is here, as well as Ainsley Dunsbar. So it's just a kind of a mix there. The cover art, just to talk about that for a second. This sort of half man, half dog, Belgian artist Guy Peel art. This was based on some photographs by Terry O'Neill. And it was kind of controversial at the time because it showed part of the body that people were kind of weird, so they airbrushed it out, and so you don't see it. So album is done well. A lot of people regard it as one of the great David Bowie albums, and rightfully so. And so if you're a fan of that early 70s Bowie period, Ziggy Stardust, Aladdin Sane, this goes right into it, and worth having. Diamond Dogs by David Bowie, today's Daily Record. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. In the meantime, I'll see you all again tomorrow with another Daily Record.